Gentlemen, let's talk about something that most people avoid, but desperately need to hear. After 60, your body becomes a storyteller. It tells tales of strength, endurance, wisdom, and yes, change. But in the silence of that change, many men unknowingly start doing things that quietly chip away at their energy, confidence, and vitality. Today, I'm going to tell you about 7 masturbation mistakes that older men make, mistakes that are silently harming you, draining your power, and keeping you from living fully in your golden years. Let's begin with awareness. You see, masturbation is not a sin, it's not shameful. It's part of how men stay connected to their own vitality. But when it's done without understanding, without mindfulness, it stops being a healthy release and becomes a silent saboteur. One of the biggest mistakes older men make is frequency without purpose. Many think, I need to keep my prostate healthy, so I should do it daily. But your body after 60 doesn't recover the way it used to. Constant release without rest can lower testosterone levels, create fatigue, and even disturb your sleep cycle. Moderation isn't weakness, it's wisdom. Listen to your body, not your old habits. The second mistake, using too much pressure. I mean both physically and emotionally. Many older men rely on tight grips or intense friction to feel the same sensation they did in their younger years. But this can cause desensitization, weaken erections, and make intimacy more difficult later. Gentle stimulation, combined with slow breathing, increases blood flow and sensitivity over time. Remember, pleasure at 60 isn't about performance, it's about connection. Then there's the mental trap. You know what I'm talking about. The habit of rushing, hiding, or feeling guilt right after release. These feelings trigger cortisol, your stress hormone, and that slowly chips away at your heart health and mental peace. Take your time, breathe, make it a ritual, not a race. You've earned that right. The fourth mistake, ignoring hydration and nutrition. Men over 60 often underestimate how vital zinc, magnesium, and hydration are for sexual energy. When you deplete yourself without proper nutrients, you're not just tiring your body, you're starving your hormones. Water, healthy fats, and minerals rebuild what release takes away. Think of it as fueling the engine before starting it. And here's another quiet killer, porn dependence. Decades of conditioning can train your brain to need constant visual stimulation, but what that does, especially in older age, is disconnect your mind from your body. Real pleasure comes from inner awareness, from being fully present in sensation, not from watching someone else's fantasy. Start retraining your mind. Close your eyes, breathe, focus on the warmth, the rhythm, the connection within. That's where true vitality lives. The sixth mistake, neglecting recovery. Your body needs rest after arousal. Your pelvic floor, your heart, your nervous system all deserve time to recover, stretch, walk, or meditate afterward. Don't just roll over and move on. Masturbation should renew you, not drain you. And finally, avoiding emotional intimacy. Many men after 60 turn to self. Pleasure because of loneliness, rejection, or loss. There's no shame in that. But understand this, the act itself cannot replace connection. It should complement it. Touch should remind you of life, not isolation. Reach out, connect, laugh, love, flirt, live. Don't let your hand become your only form of comfort. Men, let's be honest. You've spent decades working, surviving, providing, but now this chapter of your life isn't about endurance. It's about enlightenment. You don't need to stop pleasuring yourself. You need to do it consciously, wisely, with self-respect. Because your body at 60 still has power, just a different kind. When you align it with mindfulness, your energy returns, your mood stabilizes, your confidence glows. So don't fall for silence. Don't let routine habits steal your strength. Reconnect with yourself with awareness, with intention. You deserve pleasure, peace, and vitality, and they are all still within you. All you need is to treat your body not like a machine, but like the masterpiece it truly is. Many older men unknowingly make habits during self-pleasure that harm their physical vitality, hormonal balance, and emotional health. Understanding these hidden mistakes can help protect both confidence and longevity. Let's take a deep, honest look at this truth. When a man crosses 60, his body becomes a reflection of the life he has lived. every stress, every triumph, every sleepless night, and every moment of joy has shaped it. At this stage, your body is no longer driven by testosterone in the same way it was in your 30s or 40s. Your metabolism slows down, recovery takes longer, and hormonal balance becomes more delicate. This is not a sign of weakness, it's evolution. Your body is wiser, but also more sensitive to imbalance, and that's where self-pleasure, when misunderstood, becomes a silent enemy instead of a healing ritual. One of the most common mistakes older men make is thinking that their body still responds the same way it used to. They try to keep the same rhythm, frequency, or force they had decades ago. But here's the reality. After 60, the body's ability to replenish vital hormones like testosterone and dopamine after frequent release significantly decreases. Each orgasm triggers a biochemical response. It releases dopamine, the pleasure hormone, and prolactin, the hormone that signals satisfaction. In younger men, the system resets quickly. In older men, it takes longer for testosterone to recover and for the nervous system to restore balance. That means if you're masturbating frequently, especially daily, you might be unknowingly draining your natural energy reserves, leading to fatigue, irritability, low libido, and even mild depression. The second layer of this issue lies in the physical approach. Many men, due to years of habit, apply intense grip pressure or fast strokes just to feel stimulation. This can create what doctors call death grip syndrome, a form of desensitization where normal touch or intimacy fails to bring the same pleasure. When this happens, men may think something is wrong with their partner or their body, when in fact it's a learned physical response caused by overstimulation. The older body, with its slower blood flow and reduced nerve sensitivity, needs a gentler, more mindful approach. When you slow down, breathe deeply, and allow arousal to build gradually, you actually retrain your nervous system to respond more naturally. Another hidden mistake is ignoring the mind-body connection. Older men often carry years of guilt, shame, or emotional tension around sexuality. They may have grown up in times when masturbation was taboo or labeled as dirty. So even now, at 60 or beyond, that mental programming can trigger subconscious guilt. That guilt releases stress hormones like cortisol, which interfere with testosterone and disrupt sleep. The act that should bring peace becomes a source of internal conflict. The truth is, there's nothing shameful about self-pleasure. When done with awareness and compassion, it can be a deeply grounding and healing act. But when it's rushed, hidden, or followed by guilt, it becomes toxic to the mind and body alike. Then there's the emotional isolation aspect. Many older men turn to masturbation as a substitute for emotional connection. Loneliness is a silent epidemic among men over 60. And while masturbation can temporarily relieve tension, it doesn't fulfill the human need for affection, touch, and companionship. When used as an escape, it can lead to emotional numbness and disconnection from real-life intimacy. The goal should never be escape. It should be awareness, presence, and respect for one's own body. Lastly, neglecting recovery is one of the most underestimated mistakes. Just as your muscles need rest after exercise, your reproductive and nervous systems need time to recharge after ejaculation. Overuse without rest can strain the prostate, increase inflammation, and even affect urinary function. Gentle stretching, hydration, and proper nutrition, especially zinc, magnesium, and healthy fats, are essential to help your body recover and maintain hormonal stability. So, understanding these mistakes isn't about guilt, it's about empowerment. When you become aware of the patterns that silently drain your energy, you reclaim control over your vitality. You begin to treat masturbation not as a release, but as a ritual of self-awareness, patience, and respect. After 60, your body doesn't need more intensity, it needs more intention. And that shift from mechanical habit to mindful practice is where real power and longevity begin. With the right awareness and mindful practice, masturbation after 60 can actually enhance well-being, supporting circulation, sleep, prostate health, and a deeper connection with oneself. Let's clear one major misconception right from the start. Masturbation is not just about pleasure, it's a form of body communication. At 60 and beyond, when hormonal levels naturally decline, when the muscles are less responsive, and when stress can easily take over the body's rhythm, this intimate act can become a gentle way to reconnect with your vitality. But only when done with purpose, mindfulness, and self-respect. The first thing older men need to understand is that mindful masturbation is very different from the hurried, habitual version that so many men fall into. When you approach the act slowly without rushing toward orgasm, your body begins to respond in ways you might have forgotten were possible. Your breathing deepens, blood flow increases, and your nervous system shifts from the tense fight-or-flight mode into the peaceful rest and digest state. This isn't just a moment of pleasure, it's a physiological healing response. It improves circulation, supports your cardiovascular system, and even reduces stress-related inflammation. One of the greatest benefits for men over 60 is its impact on prostate health. The prostate gland plays a central role in sexual function, and stagnation of fluids or prolonged abstinence can sometimes lead to discomfort or swelling. Regular, moderate ejaculation helps keep those fluids moving, maintaining healthy tissue and reducing the risk of issues like prostatitis. However, the key word here is moderation. You don't need daily release. You need rhythm, balance, and awareness. When the act becomes mechanical, it drains you. When it's conscious, it nourishes you. Now let's talk about hormones, especially testosterone and dopamine. These are the two most influential chemicals in a man's sense of vitality. When you engage in mindful, intentional self-pleasure, dopamine rises in a balanced way, bringing feelings of motivation and satisfaction. After release, if you rest and nourish your body properly, testosterone production rebounds healthily. This can enhance mood, confidence, and even physical strength. On the other hand, when the act becomes repetitive or compulsive, it leads to dopamine crashes, fatigue, and apathy. So, it's not the act that's harmful, it's the relationship you have with it. Another remarkable benefit is in sleep quality. Many older men struggle with insomnia, restlessness, or irregular sleep cycles due to declining melatonin levels. A healthy, mindful orgasm can promote relaxation by releasing endorphins and oxytocin, the feel-good hormones that calm the brain and ease anxiety. When done before bedtime, it can help regulate your circadian rhythm naturally, allowing deeper, more restorative sleep. Mindful masturbation also reconnects you to your body in a deeply personal way. As men age, they often begin to feel disconnected from their physical appearance, from sexual confidence, from their sense of masculinity. But this intimate act, done without shame or judgment, becomes a form of self-acceptance. It reminds you that pleasure doesn't expire with age, it evolves. You learn to appreciate new sensations, slower rhythms, and deeper emotional fulfillment. It's not about chasing what once was, it's about celebrating what still is. A huge part of this transformation is breath and focus. Breathing deeply through the act brings oxygen into the bloodstream, enhances pelvic circulation, and improves erectile function naturally. Many men overlook this simple truth. Erection quality isn't just about hormones, it's about blood flow. The more relaxed and oxygenated you are, the stronger and longer lasting your arousal becomes. Think of each breath as fuel, feeding life into every cell, every pulse, every heartbeat. Finally, there's the emotional and spiritual dimension. For many men, masturbation becomes the last place where they truly feel safe, unjudged, and free. It can be turned into a meditative ritual, a time to release tension, forgive your body, and honor the years of experience it carries. When you shift the focus from pleasure to presence, you turn the act into a practice of gratitude. You begin to feel energy moving through your body, calming your mind, and reconnecting you to yourself in a powerful, grounding way. So yes, after 60, masturbation can be an incredible tool, not of indulgence, but of wellness. It can strengthen your heart, balance your hormones, improve your prostate function, and deepen your emotional peace. The secret is mindfulness. When you honor your body's limits, focus on your breath, and treat the act with dignity and care, it becomes something far more profound than release. It becomes renewal. Your body is still capable of pleasure, healing, and joy. What it needs now is not intensity, but intimacy with yourself. Treat each moment as a dialogue between your wisdom and your desire, between your mind and your heart. When you do, you'll realize that age doesn't diminish pleasure, it refines it. Gentlemen, aging is not a decline, it's a transformation. Your body may have changed, your hormones may have slowed, but your capacity for vitality, connection, and pleasure has not vanished, it has simply evolved. The real danger lies not in masturbation itself, but in doing it without awareness, out of habit, stress, or loneliness. When performed without understanding, it drains you. But when done with intention, mindfulness, and respect, it becomes one of the most powerful ways to sustain your health, confidence, and emotional balance. After 60, your body deserves gentleness, not punishment. It needs rhythm, not repetition. It needs purpose, not guilt. This is the time in your life when every act, every choice, should serve your energy, not steal it. When you slow down, breathe, and honor what your body feels, you turn an ordinary act into a sacred ritual of self-care. You awaken circulation, nourish your prostate, calm your nerves, and bring back the spark of life that stress and aging often bury. Remember, pleasure is not a luxury, it's part of your biology, but wisdom is knowing how to use it in your favor. Masturbation after 60, when approached with knowledge, balance, and self-love, becomes a bridge between your physical health and emotional peace. It reminds you that you're still alive, still capable, and still deserving of joy. So let go of the guilt, release the old habits that no longer serve you, relearn your own body, and treat it like the sacred vessel it is, because real strength at this stage of life doesn't come from resistance, it comes from awareness. And when you master that awareness, you don't just age well. You live well with grace, energy, and the quiet confidence of a man who truly knows himself.